Our payroll is still screwing up our books. Hey there, it's Erik J. Olson. Maybe 2 years ago, we switched from paying our employees every 2 weeks to twice a month. And the reason was like when you pay employees every 2 weeks, what that really means is that 2 months out of the year, there are going to be three payrolls. And then the other 10 months of the year, there will be just two. And that's because if you pay every other week, there are 52 weeks in the year. And that means that there's going to be 26 pay periods and paychecks that go out. Well, there's only 12 months in a year, obviously, and it just doesn't divide evenly, right? There's two left over. And so we thought, okay, so what was happening? The problem was we would look at our books, and 1 month we would do like great. We'd have positive profit. And then the next month we would be negative and nothing had changed. Like, I mean, we may not have even like gotten any more clients, lost a client, and maybe like our staff hadn't changed at all. I mean, like there was consistency, yet 1 month was really good, 1 month was bad. And we're like, what is going on? And it took us a while to figure out that it was payroll and it was paying every 2 weeks. So we decided we were going to switch to twice a month to solve this problem. And we implemented it. It took a little while to coordinate with the payroll specialists that we use and the employees and make sure everyone's on the same page. But we coordinated it, and the change was flawless. It was great. So hats off and kudos to Katya because that was all her doing. So we thought we solved the problem. And I've actually probably talked about this on the podcast before. I know in my book, $1 Million Journey, I talked about how we solved the problem. And, we were patting ourselves on the back, but, we still haven't quite solved the problem. And so when I look at my financials, the financials here for Array Digital, and this is also a problem at Rival Digital, I keep seeing this some months like we lose money or our profit has shrunk to like nothing. And then the month before, like we killed it. And we still have this problem. Now, we decided that we were going to pay when we switched to twice a month, we were going to pay on the 1st and the 15th. Now, what we just concluded a couple of days ago, because we were reviewing the financials, me, Kevin, and Katya, and we still saw this problem. What we concluded was that the payment or the payday, or maybe it's not the paid. Yeah, it's the payday. The paid check on the 1st of the month sometimes actually occurs at the tail end of the previous month. And I think this has to do with like business banking days. So I'm not 100% sure or have confirmed this, but I believe it's something like this. If the 1st of the month falls on a Saturday, then the pay goes out the previous day, which could be the 30th or 31st of the previous month, which means that month may have 3 paydays, which means that our books are screwed up. So we're seeing this still in our profit and loss statement month to month. And it's to the point where I almost have to like devalue what the P&L, the bottom line says. I can't trust it because I don't know if it's one of those months that has 2 or 3. I just basically have to look at it and say, oh, well, our profit sucked. So that must have been it clearly must have been a 3 payroll month. But maybe it was something else. Like I had to dig to figure it out. We do not have consistency now month to month when it comes to how much we pay in wages. And it's actually frustrating me to the point where I think we may need to make another change to make sure that those paychecks, the ones at the very beginning of the month, always come out in that month. So we may have to go through this again because, we didn't solve the problem. As a matter of fact, we made the problem worse because before it was, each paycheck was 1/26th of the annual salary. Now it's 1/24th. So it's more money that gets lumped into a month when it shouldn't be there. So I think in general, it's a good idea. But if you are thinking about switching or implementing a pay cycle, I would highly recommend that you do so to make sure that both of those payments are in the same month. So something like the 5th and the 25th would make a whole lot of sense. Hey there, it's Erik J. Olson. I wanted to let you know about my book, $1 Million Journey, How to Launch a 7-Figure Business. This is the story of what it took for me to go from freelancer with no clients, no employees, no revenue, to growing a $1 million business. It took me 8 years and I made a lot of mistakes. And all of those mistakes, and more importantly, lessons learned, are in this book. And we have chapter takeaways, 5 to 15 takeaways that you can apply right now to your business. Check it out on Amazon, $1 Million Journey by me, Erik J. Olson.